What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a video that I've never done before. Today I'm answering your questions. Now the reason why I'm doing an answer your question video is because I'm hoping that this format of answering questions can replace live streams. I used to do regular live streams every single week on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. for a couple of years in a row, until about 6 to 8 months or so. And then I kind of abruptly just stopped completely, not only on my channel, but I also stopped being a guest on other live streams on other channels as well. There is a reason behind it, and I am going to let you know what that reason is. But I always felt bad because you guys are so loyal to my channel. A lot of you would show up every single week and be involved, and then all of a sudden I just stopped. And I really didn't give you an explanation why. And I feel like you do deserve an explanation. So it was about a couple of weeks ago, I was trying to think of what I could do that could replace live streaming, and this idea popped into my head. I've seen other YouTubers do this kind of video answering your questions, so I thought it was a great idea. So this is a trial run. If this video performs well, then I will incorporate it into future months. Not every single month, not on a monthly basis, but probably every 3 to 4 months or so, just to give some space in between. So we'll see how this one does. It's going to be a trial run, as I said, but I think it's going to be some fun. Now, just to let you guys know of when these videos are going to occur and when you should ask the questions, I'm always going to post underneath my community tab here on YouTube, and I'll say, hey guys, it's time for another, answering your question video. Send me your question, and then of course I will answer it when the video comes around. So that's how it's going to work, just to let you guys know. So always be checking my community tab for the future, because you never know when it's going to pop up. But that's how I'm getting the questions to answer for this video. I think I covered everything. Let's get into the questions. Well, actually, the first one is why I stopped live streaming. So let's answer this question. Why did I stop live streaming? Okay, I stopped live streaming, unfortunately, because of a brand new medication that I am taking. Around 6 to 8 months ago, when I started taking this brand new medication, I take about 5 or 6 medications, and I choose to take all my meds at nighttime when I'm officially home for the night. I'm not going out anywhere. I'm not going to the movies. I'm not working. I'm not, out there shopping or anything like that. I'm home for the night. Once I'm home, then I take my medication. So I started taking a brand new medication around the time I stopped doing live streams, because one of the major side effects of the medication is nausea and also like stomach pain and not feeling well. And so because of that, I had to stop live streaming, because I never knew how I was going to feel on a nightly basis. One night I could be okay. The next night I could feel absolutely awful. And all I would want to do is lay down and rest, take a nap or anything. I do not want to have to worry about having the stress of doing a live stream in 15 minutes when I'm not feeling well. You know what I'm saying? So it's because of that reason, this darn medication that I'm taking is the reason why I stopped doing live streams completely, because the side effects of this medication are completely unpredictable. One night I could be fine. The next night I'm feeling completely awful. You know what I'm saying? So you know what? I don't want to have the stress of that. I don't need the stress of that. So that is the reason why I stopped doing live streams. So that is the answer to your question. And I'm sure you guys want to know, am I going to start live streams again? Probably not. As long as I'm still taking this medication and I don't see myself stopping anytime soon, then no, I'm not going to start live streams again, and I'm not going to be a guest on anyone else's live streams, because it's just so unpredictable. I don't want to disappoint anyone, especially to be a guest on someone else's channel and say, yes, I'll be there, and then an hour beforehand cancel. I don't want to be that person, because it's not a good look. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to do that. So I'm probably not going to pick up live streaming as long as I'm taking this medication. So that is the answer to that question. But there's other questions I need to answer. I'm happy I got about 20 responses to my post for this first video, and that's a decent amount. So I'm happy. And I'm just going to read the questions off of my other phone here that I have. This is where it comes in handy to have two phones on hand. That's a whole different subject. Why do I have two phones? There is a reason, but I won't talk about that during this video today. So I'm just going to go down and read the questions and just flat out answer them. I'm answering your questions today. That's what we're doing. Okay. So Frenzy would like to know, could you talk about any horror movie recommendations? Just really started getting into more horror movies. Thanks. That is a great question / statement. I love the fact that you're getting into horror movies. It's not too long ago. I was very naive and just didn't know anything about horror films as well. I was brand new to the genre as well. So I see you. I see you, newbie. I see you. Okay, so my recommendation about easing into the horror genre as a whole is to pick a subgenre of horror that you're really comfortable with. Mine was slasher movies. I love slasher films. Scream, you guys know, is my favorite horror franchise, obviously. Scream and Halloween. So slashers, that was my way in. Scream, Halloween, Friday the 13th franchise. Then I went to Nightmare on Elm Street. What else? Let's see. Just a bunch of slasher movies. Just watching slasher films because that was the easiest for me to handle at the moment. And then once you get used to all the butchering and all the slashering or whatever subgenre you choose to go with, there's so many that you could choose from. Once you're comfortable with that subgenre, then you can start branching out to other subgenres like zombie movies, vampires, witches, werewolves, found footage, ghosts, things like that. See, I was always afraid of like ghostly movies. I don't want anything like, coming at me like through the screen and things like that. That always, I don't know, made me kind of like paranoid, and I just didn't like that feeling. But I will tell you, I'm being open-minded now, and I am watching movies like The Conjuring and The Nun and The Nun 2, The Conjuring universe, things like that. So, pick a subgenre you're most comfortable with and then go from there. So that is my recommendation of how you can ease yourself into the horror genre. Of course, everyone's going to have a different answer. That's what worked for me. I don't get to the point where we're doing like, oh, let's take off this lint, like Hostel. You know what I mean? Like that to me is not that's not entertainment for me. Even though someone sent me the double pack of Hostel and Hostel 2, I still have not watched those movies. To me, that's not entertainment. That is something different completely. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like some entertainment with my horror movies, not just, I can't do that. I do have a line. I do draw the line with that stuff. I can't say the name. It rhymes with corn. You know what I mean? Torture corn. Okay. You know what I'm talking about. All right. Let's move on. Next question. Captain Canaveral, I think I'm saying that correctly, would like to know, could you do, read more. Okay. Could you do a ranking recommendation for the best places online to buy 4Ks? I've recently got my first order from Amazon and it arrived in mildly poor condition. I've looked more into it and apparently Amazon's got a bad rep for doing this. So what about the good sellers? Well, I am sorry that happened to you. I did do a video recently about, I think 2 weeks ago, saying you don't need to rely on Amazon for picking up steelbooks, physical media, things like that. I mean, honestly, you could just go and watch that video where I give my suggestions, or I'll just repeat them right now. Walmart, Target, I know it's kind of, it's like the usual places for me to say, but honestly, Walmart is the main place now because we're getting limited and limited. We're getting more limited. Walmart, Target, try Barnes& Noble, even going inside of a Barnes& Noble. If you're limited that way and you can't go inside the store, then, see what they have online. There's a lot of places online. You have groove.com, Gruv.com. I always recommend Groove. They're a great alternative place for you guys to go and get physical media. So groove.com. eBay. eBay is a great place for you to go, especially if you're concerned with packaging, because eBay sellers are going to package your product very, very well. They want that nice rating because the higher the rating they have, the better off they're going to be. So they know, number one, they need to ship things out in a certain way. But number two, because we are physical media collectors, they are going to wrap it up and make sure that there's plenty of protection. So eBay, definitely. HamiltonBook.com. There's OrbitDVD.com. There we go. Sorry. OrbitDVD.com. Shout Factory, Scream Factory, all the factories. There's tons of places. There's tons. You don't have to rely on Amazon. So there's a few websites to get you started, and hopefully you have better luck with those in the future. But go with eBay. If you're very particular, especially with steelbooks, and you want that protection, then I would probably recommend eBay right off the bat, because they're going to package up your product very, very nicely. Okay, let's move on. I know I say let's move on a lot. That's just my thing. Okay. I think it's super crazy, just with certain letters. SPRCRZY 110. If you could only own one boutique label's entire back catalog and future releases, which would you choose? Without a doubt, Kino Lorber. Kino Lorber is my favorite boutique label. Now, I love all the boutique labels. I love, obviously Scream Factory, Shout Factory, Criterion, Arrow, Vinegar Syndrome, MVD. They're all great for their own reasons. But I'm choosing Kino Lorber because I feel like they have the best variety of movies. And plus, the movies that they're choosing for 4K upgrades are fantastic. We are getting some awesome future Kino Lorber 4K releases coming up. We're getting Crybaby from John Waters. We're getting Brokeback Mountain. These are great. So I'm going Kino Lorber all the way. If that was the only boutique label I could have for the rest of my life, I would be good, because there's such wide variety. Between 4K and Blu-ray, you have contemporary current titles, you have older titles, black and white titles from 30s and 40s. Like they're amazing. They do such a great job. So Kino Lorber all the way. Okay. Destroyer 3212 would like to know, have you watched the Percy Jackson series? No, I have not. I don't even know what Percy Jackson is. So no, I've never seen that. Dylan Ganem, if I'm saying it correctly, Dylan Ganem. Do you go to the theaters a lot? Something like AMC A-List is amazing for movie lovers, and I'm wondering if you're involved with a program like that or just go to the theater much in general. Yes, I do have AMC A-List. I love it. I've had A-List for, I think, the past 3-4 years. Ever since they started AMC A-List, I signed up right away because I knew this is right up my alley. At the time, I was just a movie review channel when I didn't know what I was doing. Very, very early, the earliest videos on this channel, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. All I was doing were movie reviews. They weren't even really that good. They were not great at all, but I got the A-List because I was going to the movies all the time. So yes, I have A-List. I love having A-List. I wish I could go to the movies more often. I try to go once a week. I wish I could go multiple times a week and really use up that A-List like I should be doing, but I can't because I have work, YouTube, mom, taking care of Mama Blu-ray, got to make sure she's okay, my cats. I got other responsibilities. So unfortunately, I am not able to get out to the theater as much as I would like to. Sometimes I can get there twice a week if I'm lucky, but usually it's once a week. thank you for your question. Thank all of you for your questions. Thank you for participating in this. Okay. The Office movie fandom 3519 wants to know, what is my Letterboxd? A lot of people can never find me on Letterboxd. My Letterboxd is Susan's Reviews, because that was my YouTube channel name. There we go. Before I made the change to Movies&Sue. And so because I do not want to sign up for the Letterboxd Pro, I already pay for enough in my life. I don't want to pay for Letterboxd Pro to change the name that I'm using. So my Letterboxd, if you want to find me, is Susan's Reviews. Nothing capitalized. All little. All little Susan's Reviews. There we go. So that is my Letterboxd account. Okay. Henry Blazer 20 would like to know more about how I got into movies and if I have any interests outside of movies. Well, I will say, as far as the interests outside of movies, pretty much ever since the channel changed to Movies&Sue and I changed to physical media focus and things like that, I really don't do anything else besides work and watch movies. That's literally all I do, because when review copies come in, I have to watch them. I have to give my opinions on them, and movies I pick up, I'm watching because I want to talk about them here on the channel. The channel is a huge focus in my life right now. I want it to grow. I want it to succeed more and more. I want to see improvement every single month with the channel. So movies pretty much are my life right now. When I was younger, I was very creative. I was never really good in school. I was okay in school. B's, C's, maybe some A's if I was lucky. But B's and C's, that was me. I was a very artsy, creative girl. Drama, theater, choir, things like that. I was the creative side. So I went to college. I was a theater major. And then I like reading. I always like reading, journaling, writing, things like that. It was never sportsy. You guys can tell, like, not into sports at all whatsoever. I just never liked sports. I'm not a hiking kind of girl. I can't stand that, like, outside bugs. No, thank you. Don't want to deal with that. So I'm more of an inside girl. I'm more of an inside girl. And I am more focused on movies because of the channel. Pretty much it is my life. It may be sad, but it's true. It is what it is. Okay. And the second part of the question, how I got into movies. So this is a little bit of a story, so hang in there with me. So when I was 8 and 9 years old, I broke my leg twice in a row. Okay, so I was in a full-on body cast from underneath my boobs all the way down one leg and half of the other. I was in a hospital bed inside of our apartment that was right across the street from the hospital. That's the reason why they allowed me to go home, because if anything was wrong, I was right across the street. So that's really where the love of movies came in, because literally I could not do anything else. I couldn't go to school. I couldn't do anything that I like to do at that age. I was stuck in a bed. My mom took care of me 24/7. I still believe that's the reason why my mom and I are so super close, is because during that time period, she was my sole caretaker. She did everything for me. So she would go to Video Galaxy, because Blockbuster did not exist yet. She went to the local mom and pop rental place called Video Galaxy, and she would rent like 5 movies at a time and bring them home, VHS obviously, and pop them in. And that's what I would do every single day, watching movies, and watching those classic 80s films for the very first time. Was so awesome back then. So that's where the love of movies truly began. I've always loved movies. I always have. But being confined in a hospital bed for pretty much 2 years straight, yeah, there's really nothing else that you can do to pass your time except sleep. You could sleep too. Okay. All right. TXL17 is asking, have you had any success ordering Blu-rays from Walmart's website? They have so many good deals, but I hate the hassle of going inside of stores. LOL. I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. Ordering online is so much easier. It lands at your doorstep. You don't have to worry about anything except the condition that the movies arrive in. I've had a lot of success from Walmart. Pretty much Walmart I've ordered steelbooks from. If I do pick up Blu-rays inside of Walmart, obviously they're inside, I'm in the store. Like I don't think I've ever ordered a regular Blu-ray from Walmart. I don't think so. Pretty much everything I've ever ordered from Walmart has been a steelbook, and I've had no issues, no problems whatsoever. They've arrived in great condition, nothing dented, nothing scratched, no nothing. So I've had luck. I've had Walmart luck. All right, Bong Hunazao, I'm probably not saying this correctly, 5051. All you put was ranking of series Marvel DC. Well, there's no way I can rank all of them right now. Like, that's impossible. That's way too much. I'll give you like 5 favorites from each one, if that's okay. So we'll start with Marvel. Okay, favorite Marvel, here we go. Infinity War is my number 1 favorite. Avengers Endgame is up there as well. Guardians of the Galaxy. Let's see. Captain America and the Winter Soldier, and Spider-Man 2. When we're talking about all Marvel, doesn't matter if it's MCU or Sony Marvel. Spider-Man 2, we're throwing that in there. All right, so that's Marvel. DC, I would go Wonder Woman is my favorite. Man of Steel, The Suicide Squad, James Gunn. And then I would go Batman 89 and Batman Returns. I love Michael Keaton is my Batman. My first exposure to Batman. So I have a special place in my heart for both of those movies. So I will go with both of the Batman films, the Tim Burton Batman films. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Let's see. The next one is Clemente Malin 5 saying, try rating the movie with a score and package like slipcover or steelbook. Sue's pick of the week movies to own. I think this is more of a video idea, so I'm going to skip this one, but thank you. Thank you for sending that in. I truly do appreciate that one. Yeah, that's more of a video idea, but thank you. Trends Shondi. Oh, Trends Shondi always showed up for my live stream, so thank you so much for sending this my way. And actually, the first question right off the bat, I already answered, which was how I got interested in movies. So I already discussed that. What are your top 10 favorite movies of all time? I actually already did a video about that. It is a couple of years old. Maybe it could possibly change, but highly unlikely. But my favorite movie of all time is Goodfellas. Jaws is in there. The Breakfast Club. Infinity War and Endgame. I put them as like a double pack in one of the slots because I couldn't choose. I absolutely couldn't choose. So that's just a sampling of what's my favorite movies of all time. But I do have that video, so go and watch it if you want the rest of the answers. All right. Favorite hobbies outside of movies. I pretty much answered that as well. Pretty much nothing. It's all movies these days. Do I prefer rainy days or sunny days? Sunny days. I hate the rain. I will not work in the rain. I hate the rain. I think I was a cat in a past life because I just despise the rain so much. So no. Favorite musical of all time. I have 2, Chicago and Rocky Horror Picture Show. I love them both equally. There's no way I could choose between both of them. So they're both at the top. Top 3 favorite movie soundtracks of all time. And do you prefer Marvel or DC? So top 3 favorite movie soundtracks. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy pops into my head immediately. And I'm also going to say Forrest Gump because my dad actually had the movie on a couple of nights ago. And Forrest Gump has an amazing soundtrack. I mean, every single song in that movie is awesome. It's a great song. Those are like just 2. I don't really pay, as bad as it sounds, I don't really pay attention to soundtracks that much, unfortunately. So those are the 2 I'm going to go with right now. And do I prefer Marvel over DC? I enjoy them both for different reasons, but where I fell in love with superhero movies because I'd never seen superhero movies before watching Marvel. So I got to go with Marvel. Marvel was, the franchise that really brought me in. I mean, I watched DC with like Batman, things like that, but like not, it was Marvel that really, really got me to explore, the DCEU. It's like I explored Marvel. Now let's go over here. You know what I'm saying? So it's Marvel. It is Marvel. They're having problems right now, but I'm a believer. They can get it back on track. Come on, Kevin Feige. Let's do this. Okay. Let's do this. All right, the big red machine is saying that I should do movie reactions. I actually used to do trailer reactions back in the day, a couple of years ago. However, once I got monetized here on my channel, whenever I would do a trailer reaction, I always got copyrighted. So I figure it's not worth it to get copyrighted. I don't want to risk losing my channel because it's kind of like 3 strikes and you're out kind of situation. So it wasn't worth it to me. It wasn't worth it to me. Plus, whenever trailers drop, it's usually at 9 a.m. or noon. I'm out there, I'm working. I'm not going to come home to rush out a trailer reaction for my channel. You know what I mean? It's just, I get why people would want me to do them, but it's just, I can't. The bigger channels, they're allowed to do it, I guess, because, they're bigger channels and they want people to see the trailer and react to it. So they're going to allow certain channels to do trailer reactions, but my channel's still on the smaller side, even though we just surpassed 12K, which is so awesome. Thank you to all of you out there. But my channel isn't big enough to get away with it. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't do them anymore. But thank you. I appreciate that. All right, Captain America 1274 is saying, I'm looking for a Total Recall Steelbook for Blu-ray. Any help would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. eBay. Go on eBay. Anything that you're looking for, if you cannot find it underneath, Walmart or any, go-to place, go on eBay. eBay literally has anything and everything you could possibly be looking for. So go to eBay. Okay. I think we only have a few more questions left. But this is nice. This is fun. Okay. Pixie Stardust 69 is asking favorite underrated or lesser known films. There's a lot out there that I think is underrated. I still think Frailty is a little bit underrated. That is a horror film with Bill Paxton. He also directed the movie and it's good. It's really good. So Frailty, For a Good Time Call. That's a great raunchy female comedy. I love that one. Crawl, great creature feature. The Gift with Joel Edgerton and Jason Bateman. What else? She's Out of My League. That's a great comedy. Underrated comedy. Like, so good. I love that one. So there's 5. I think that's 5. Underwater with Kristen Stewart. That's actually not too bad. It gets like a bad reputation or something, but I actually thought it was pretty decent. So I'm going with Underwater as well. All right, so there's 6 recommendations for you. Okay. Hands Clean is asking, what's your favorite song from a movie soundtrack non-musical? Mine would be Uninvited by Alanis Morissette from City of Angels. Well, that would be mine as well because that was my go-to karaoke song when I would go out and sing karaoke with my work friends when I worked in restaurants, and after a double on a Friday or a Saturday at nighttime, we'd clean up the restaurant. We'd all get in our cars and go to the nearest bar that had karaoke, and we would just have a blast. So Uninvited, that's my answer as well, because that was my go-to karaoke song. So there you go. All right, at Movie Warehouse 4000, have you ever seen Key and Peele? If so, what are some of your favorite skits from it? Unfortunately, I've never seen Key and Peele. I'm sorry. I don't know why. I just never have. I never have. Okay, Matthew Sullivan, 8411. I'd like to know what a day in the life of you is like. Honestly, it's not that interesting. And pretty much I kind of live Groundhog Day pretty much. Every day I wake up and it's the same. So if I'm going to work that day, by the way, my job, just to let you know, besides YouTube, my job is a delivery driver. I'm DoorDash, I'm Uber Eats. Sometimes I'm Instacart if it's a good day, but usually DoorDash and Uber Eats. So I am in full control of my schedule. I decide when I'm working, when I'm not working. But if it's a nice sunny day out, I set my alarm for 7 a.m. I'm up. I'm on the road usually for between 8:15 and 8:30. I usually work until about 1:30 in the afternoon. I'll come home, I'll eat lunch. While I'm eating lunch, I'm watching something on my TV down here, either something from my streaming list or, guilty pleasure, cheesy reality TV like Vanderpump Rules, the reunion right now, let me tell you, or like The Valley, anything on Bravo. Anything from Bravo I'm watching is guilty pleasure. So that's what I'm usually doing. And then I film the video of the day. After I get done eating, after I watch my program, after that's done, I film the video of the day like I'm doing right now. I get that uploaded. It goes up into the atmosphere and hits all you lovely people. And then I decide if I want to work at nighttime. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I stay in and I start my movie watching, or I'm doing chores or, things like that, laundry, nothing glamorous over here. I'm doing laundry and I'm like cleaning out cat pans. It's not wow over here. It's movie watching and cleaning pretty much. That's what I'm doing. And yeah, I'm usually watching movies until about midnight, 1 a.m. I go to bed and then I get up and do it all over again. So that's my day pretty much. That is my day in a nutshell of what I do. My average day. If it's raining, I stay home. I don't go out there in the rain. If it's like downpouring, I don't go out. If it's like, drizzling, I'll make an exception, but I don't like to work in the rain. No. Okay. And if it's a day off, I'm sleeping in until like between 10 and noon. Okay. Because sometimes I'm exhausted. Okay. Javante, I believe. Yes. Javante, do you have a typical daily, same question. Typical daily routine you follow, or what is a normal day like in the life of Movies&Sue? Well, I just answered that question. So there we go. We're all set. At PureJ20, do you or Mama Blu-ray watch any soaps? Oh my gosh, we used to. My mom used to watch Days of Our Lives and Another World. And then when I got to 8 and 9, when I was housebound, with the broken leg, that's when we used to watch soaps together. My mom would have to watch her soap opera. So of course she would watch it with me. And I started watching them. And so then I got into Days of Our Lives and Another World. And then they canceled Another World. And then they started Passions. Remember Passions? I was like, I'm probably aging myself a little bit. But Passions came on the air. So I started watching that. My mom never got into that one. That was just me. And then the storylines just became like way too ridiculous and outrageous. So I stopped watching Passions and Days of Our Lives altogether. But I haven't watched any soaps in like, I don't know, 10 years at least, something like that. Like my new soap is Bravo shows, Housewives of any city. Okay, any and all city, I'm watching them. Vanderpump Rules, The Valley, like Summer House, Winter House, anything on Bravo, any trash on Bravo, I am there and I'm watching. So that's kind of like the new soap opera nowadays. It's real life versus, corny scripted. Get what I'm saying? Even though some people say those reality shows are scripted as well. I wouldn't be surprised. Okay. And the final comment / question we have from D-Man Skid Row, more cameos of the cat. What's her name? Well, I do appreciate your love of my cat. A lot of you actually love when my cat is in the video. If you guys do not know, I actually own 2 cats. One is an all-black cat, and the other one is the cat you usually see, the gray and white one. She's usually right over here on the bed, either cleaning herself or she's sleeping, in a circle, and she's in a tight little ball. But I actually have 2 cats. I rescued them both from the Humane Society. The names, Heppy, I named her after Audrey Hepburn. Her actual name is Hepburn Monroe, and so I call her Heppy. She has a lot of nicknames. So that's the all black cat. And the gray and white cat, her technical name that I gave her is Crawford Elizabeth, because I'm naming my animals after movie stars, if you guys could not tell already. So Crawford Elizabeth, but when she was very, very young, I just called her Baby C one time, and that's what stuck. So we call her Baby C or Baby because she is kind of like the princess of the family, if you guys could not already tell by the, the background when she's here. She is the princess of this house. So that is it for the answering your questions. I think this went very well. By the way, thank you to everyone that sent in a question. I do appreciate that you guys got involved with this. And comment down below and let me know if you are enjoying this new format of a pseudo live stream. Don't forget to like and subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you next time.